Yo! Video games.
What?
Take some hot checks.
No.
Early summer.
That is true. I don't understand just quite yet, Chad. Ugh. Dave Juan, Chad. Dave Juan.
I think the games could be a bit faster. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the later versions of Sam Show. They're being a bit quicker. I think I actually I like the footsie games that have like the character utility, like all their footsie tools and their pokes and their, you know, 2-in-1s and stuff to be good, and their mobility to be good. But a lot of like the footsie games that have come out lately between, you know, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and this, a lot of the mobility, I mean, Street Fighter is like kind of a weird one, but Grand Blue, this game, you know, all the recent footsie games, they tend to like nerf something, like you have slow movement, or you can't cancel a lot of specials, or into a lot of specials.
SSM can only hit after parry in middle and high level match. Okay. What is SSM?
I have no idea. I didn't play a lot of Sam Show back in the day. Very casual affair with these games.
Whoa! What a punish!
Wait, Davy's Man Cave or something?
Yeah, Caveman Cavies.
Caveman Cave.
Cavies Man Cave. We all went there after we shot Predator.
Davy's Man Cave.
That's
the
right.
same machine was still there.
That day that we all shot Predator up in the mountains, that was actually where I played Samurai Showdown. That weird dank pizza place we went to.
And it's still there.
We went there. We ate pizza.
Still there.
They had MK1, or
they had
one of the MKs.
One of the MKs. They had a Sam
one or
Show.
two.
They had a Darkstalkers machine. They were all still working, and none of them.
Oh yeah, super special move.
Why don't you say super?
Super special move is forward, half circle forward, kick and heavy, or kick and heavy.
Universal or no?
Universal, but comboing into it it's hard. You can't really combo.
Well, that's
into
what
it.
you did when you actually
You
got
actually have to put them into a parry state or something.
Yeah, to actually pull it off.
It has no invincibility, but it does like 80 fucking percent.
Yeah, it's
There it is. That's
You
it
got
right
it.
there.
Oh.
Pierce the heavens with your drill! And my ass.
Is it similar to Third Strike footsies? Third Strike footsies are fun in my opinion because a lot of shit works on, well, most of the characters. Some characters are obviously lacking as shit, like 12 and 2.
Any character can be good on that game because of the parry.
Yeah, it definitely, the system helps, but Third Strike, most characters that are normal in the game are kind of fast. Like, and the big thing about Third Strike is that aerial movement is encouraged because if you get good at parrying, you can, you know, parry anti-airs. To make people think about something a bit differently.
God damn it. Give me all these other buttons.
There were people who were using like characters like Shodown were unhittable.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, this is the second time I got it.
I kind of, my favorite fighting games are the ones that give you a lot of options, where it's not just like, okay, so this game very much obviously wants you to focus on grounded footsies.
Yeah, it does.
This game just wants you to focus on combos. This game just like, yeah, I like the fighting games that they want you to do a bunch of different shit.
Wow! Stuff City!
The neutral game is played on the ground and in the air. The character's mobility is there to complement that.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
Why not? And there's not just like combos don't dominate the game. It's a complement to all the fun neutral. Because for example, Third Strike is not technically a combo heavy game at all. It's really not. Like you're talking low forward fireball super.
Yeah.
That's the combo. But Third Strike's my favorite fighting game of all time, and it's not combo heavy. I mean, you can play characters like Yoon and shit like that and do combos for fucking days.
Ibuki had a lot of cool combos.
Yeah, some stuff. But for the most part, like most characters in that game do not have long combos. Like Street Fighter V's combos are like 3 times longer than Third Strike combos.
Depends on the characters.
You hit combos already.
Yeah.
Middle to none. But I really love Remy.
I think SSM stands for Super Special Move.
Yeah.
Which is forward, half circle forward, and then kick and
Which is
special.
odd to me because when you just call it a super.
Yeah, because there's another super. There's the fireball forward, medium, and special, which Charlie has right now. Fireball forward, medium, and special, and you lost it.
Ultra.
But the funny thing is, you also get EX moves. If your rage bar is all the way, you can deplete the rage bar by doing like a heavy attack and holding it down or some shit. I was getting like an uppercut with Halmer that was going fucking forever. It was like, I was like, Jesus, and then I saw that it was...
Oh, that was good. Yeah, you're doing extra damage on that.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's what that was.
Damn it!
Cut in half. Oh no.
What's your opinion on Sam Show? I love the look of the game. We'll see how long if it's like one of those games that I'll always want to come back and play. Sam Show's, for me, has always been sort of similar to Street Fighter EX.
Okay.
Like, I love these games. They're super fun. They're cool. I love the characters. But did I ever have a desire to get like super good at them? Not really.
Well, with SNK, you played the shit out of 14.
I love 14.
Yeah,
KOF 14 is probably my favorite SNK game. I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I love the mobility, the neutral, and the combos of 14.
There's so many options.
There's so many options. And man, some characters like some of the shit with some characters is so much fucking fun to do.
Yeah.
And Rock Howard's in it, and he's like the best Rock Howard in anything ever. So that helps.
Well, maybe that's what's kind of making you a little reluctant on this game is the fact that
I'm not even reluctant in this game. I like it a lot. It's just that, is it going to be like one of my forever games? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It generally isn't in the genre of fighting games that I usually are like, oh, I can play this shit forever.
Right, yeah. I think for me, I'll
It's a pocket game. That's exactly it. It's a pocket game.
Damn.
It's like Street Fighter Alpha 2 to me is a pocket game. Like, I just casually play it every once in a while, but have I ever practiced it? No.
Yeah.
Just pick it up.
I think I'm the opposite in that way because I like the simplicity of some of the fighting games. Like, keep it simple, don't make it over fucking complicated, and let the people enjoy just the simple stuff, like, you know, fucking regular Street Fighter 2 Turbo shit.
Yeah, but you like Tekken and Marvel Infinite.
Yeah.
And they're games that give you a shit ton of options.
But I don't, the thing is that I can compete without having to utilize all of those fucking options. Like, the crazy shit that you have to learn in, like, let's say, Dragon Ball Fighters, like, there's so much bullshit that's going on in the game because Arxis loves doing that. And almost all the games Arxis gets into, there's crazy complicated, overcomplicated type of shit. It's a little too much, but with Marvel vs. Capcom, like Infinite and stuff like that, there's so many crazy stuff you do, and it's very simplistic. It's very simplistic.
Yeah, Marvel Infinite's more about wrapping your head.
Yeah, around
It's not as much the execution of it, it's more like, Marvel Infinite in design is kind of similar to Killer Instinct in some ways, where KI shit isn't technically hard to do for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just you have to think about it in a different way.
The thing about games like, let's say, like you said, I play Tekken and shit like that. Tekken at high level, I couldn't touch these guys. You know what I mean? Because they're using all of the tools and the options to the point where I couldn't do anything. But with you know, simplistic games, at least I can compete at like a higher level.
Well, that is the goal of the designers.
Yeah, exactly. MK9 was a perfect example.
But the funny thing is that it's ultimately a feeling they want to instill on you without actually a lot of truth.
Right.
You want the player to feel like, oh, I have it, since this game offered so much
Christ.
damage. Every character can do so much damage. I've heard this from people that are generally casual players talk about Sam Show in, like, you know, interviews and stuff. Like press people that don't play a lot of fighting games. They love Sam Show because I feel like I always have a chance. I feel like since there's so much damage and not a lot of crazy stuff, I always have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
It's ultimately that's a good thing that the game conveys that feeling, but it's not true.
Right.
Because what you're doing to the people that are actually like better at fighting games, that train a lot of them, they're gonna have to learn even less to perfect things.
Yeah.
So it works both ways.
Right, yeah.
Like, it takes sometimes the veteran fighting game players a bit longer to get good at something, but if there's less stuff for them to get good at, they just get to focus on the basics stuff.
Right, yeah.
And usually the fundamental basic stuff is the stuff that people is the hardest shit to learn. It's actually the hardest shit to learn in fighting games, is the basic understanding of character movement, mobility, and understanding your opponent.
Yeah.
The hardest shit. At a fundamental level, it's like everyone could know this. Everyone could learn this, but people won't.
Yeah.
So people usually go to like, oh, I can't do one-frame links. Oh, I can't do combos, that's why I'm bad.
Yeah.
In this game, everything does damage, I'm gonna be good. It's exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
it's totally the opposite.
And I think that's what it is. It's just intimidation. Like people
It's intimidation.
are intimidated by one
You want the player to
fucking,
feel like I can get in and I can beat someone that's going to be
the
really
thing
good.
That's the thing that I didn't like about Third Strike was the fact that it was intimidating at the start.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you see
Third
people
Strike
carrying
was the most
fucking-
intimidating fucking fighting game ever, next to Virtual Fighter.
Yeah, you just didn't know. Oh my god, Virtual Fighter, Jesus! Oh my god.
That's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to play Third Strike was that
I don't like how he's like.
I wanted to dedicate myself to like one thing and just get really good at it. And I chose Third Strike because it was so fucking hard.
Right, and it's like
Yeah, well, you gotta know.
I didn't want to have to bust my ass just to be competitive at the game when I wasn't doing that in, let's say, Alpha Series. In Alpha Series, I didn't have to fucking fight that hard to be competitive because I understood the game at a fundamental level, but I didn't feel like I had to dedicate myself to the game to get to that point, which Street Fighter 3 you definitely did because you had to know every fucking move that the other person was going to do before they did.
And I'm not saying that's actually a compliment to Third Strike. The only reason I wanted to do that is because when you got to that level, in some fighting games it doesn't look that impressive.
Right.
When you get to the highest level,
yeah, of course,
like even the highest level of Marvel vs. Capcom can be a little uninteresting for some characters, especially like Marvel 2.
I'd say Dragon Ball.
Well, some games at high level don't look that interesting.
Yeah, they're like, it's the same.
When I was before Third Strike obviously had its established top tiers and that's all you saw, the to be good at Third Strike looked really impressive.
Yeah.
Like parrying shit and like maneuvering your way perfectly around things.
I mean, it's the whole thing of behind the Daigo parry.
Yeah, I mean
like,
that's
that high level.
That's the fundamental reason why I
people who
jumped
are
into
outside who are seeing that for the first time.
Oh yeah.
They see what the fuck is going on. They don't even know what's going on, but at high level, they're like, "That's pretty impressive."
So
they don't even know what's happening.
I kind of,
even if you don't know, you're like, "Holy fuck, he's you know,
yeah, this is hard.
This
like,
is fucking,
this is not. It was. I like the fighting games where I see that there's goals I have to achieve, and then I just have to get better at this, or better with the situation to get better at it.
Right.
And usually in like a lot of the more simple fighting games that have sort of come out, like Mortal Kombat 11s, the Grand Blue Fantasies, like this game especially.
Oh, geez.
This wants you to focus on like one thing, which is like you're grounded with punishing and neutral.
Yeah.
Like that's the main thing. And that's good because that's a good fundamental thing to be good at. But it's like in the other fighting games I really like you know the Killer Instincts, the Third Strike, the Marvels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You gotta worry about that and a shit ton of other things.
I would agree. Like almost every 3D fighting game is intimidating.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Tekken for me was extremely intimidating. I needed Kenny to help me show me how to play the fucking game because I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
But I showed you Paul, and like Paul is the
because
Shodown.
you said the Shodo, right?
He's
And
the
it was
Shodown.
like, okay, he's got a Hadouken. He doesn't really have a Hurricane Kick. Well, he does have a Hurricane
Kind of,
Kick.
yeah, but he does this
all that stuff like
instead.
that.
But
And
then-
that's when I really started learning. But I didn't really get into it until I saw something simplistic
Something
about the
fucking
game.
cool, yeah.
And that was Eddie Gordo. Eddie Gordo in part 3, I literally walked in the fucking arcade, and I saw a guy beat the game by, he had a cup in his hand, he was drinking, and he was doing this with his fucking fingers, and he was doing all the kicks. And he was just fucking, and he beat the game doing that. I'm like, okay, so he did something simplistic, and now I can learn this. I don't feel intimidated to jump into the
That's
game.
why when I learn a new character in Tekken, I'm like, where's the website that pretty much tells you the best 15
50
moves?
stuff, right, yeah,
Give me the
exactly.
15
Oh,
moves
yeah, that
are good.
But you gotta understand, when we were playing Tekken, this was before websites. We were getting the magazines and shit like that, and we had to.
But you know what?
Pick up that stuff.
Well, how I learned Tekken was one of the magazines, and the magazine had all that shit. Best 15 moves you should learn, like of each character.
And this is ultimately why I tell people the most important time. Chat room, if you're interested in Samurai Shodown at all, I'm not telling you to go out and buy it. I'm not like, yes, these guys have given us the game and it was very nice of them. I'm not telling you to go out and buy it. I'm telling you, if you're interested in a fighting game in any way, and it already doesn't have a predetermined history, like, there wasn't a shit ton of Samurai Shodown games that came out leading up to this. Like, you know, Tekken 7, there was Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2, and a lot of stuff was very similar, so it's hard to keep up.
Right.
In this game, jump online, because this is the time you actually can learn with people.
Exactly.
This is the perfect
Start
opportunity.
in the beginning.
I'm like, I want to learn a fighting game. Which one should I pick? I'm like, find one that's new and that a lot of people are looking forward to and might be kind of popular, or just in general a new fighting game, and start playing it online.
A lot of old school cats that would probably play this game have probably forgotten how to play the game. So you're gonna meet a lot of people that are just learning the game from the ground up.
And the biggest thing in this game is going to be matchup. Like, the most important thing is
yeah.
just knowing, like, okay, so what distance and this, and what does this character do?
Yeah.
What is their bullshit? How do I stop their
punish
bullshit?
Stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
That's a big thing.
When can I punish with a heavy?
It's a big thing in every fighting game, but in these games, which are grounded footsie based, it's super important.
Yeah.
Like, it's like more important than you can't really flowchart a lot of shit.
Well, the same thing with me, Zap. I haven't forgotten how to play either, but I coming back to the game. This is my day one playing.
Shit.
And I'm still discovering shit, and I've been playing this game for fucking years when it first came out. So.
Honestly, I think one of the most important things that's not easy to do with a fighting game is to find another friend locally, like, and decide, hey, we want to learn this game together. Because if you can do that, I feel like you're gonna have a lot more fun, kind of like learning fundamentals. If you have someone who shares an interest with you, it's not possible.
Well, that was the whole point of arcades.
And you can,
Like, we
can-
that was the thing,
played
like,
locally,
yeah,
and we found that other guy that was like, oh, okay, he's really good. We give it.
And it's also like you could just grind with your friends and mash buttons and shit, and that's fun. But I mean, if like this is the difference between a casual and someone who actually like understands, like, I'm doing this move and I want to get the move to come out at this point. That's not a casual. A casual is just hitting fucking buttons. They're just like whacking shit. And hoping that you come out the victor.
Something, yes.
Or they're slightly thinking about it, but if they want to like time their moves and certain things, they don't. That doesn't exist.
Well, I don't think I would. I had, you know, I like fighting. I had my like Street Fighter 2 days, but I don't think I would have gotten back into fighting games. Not for like so many of us were playing Dreamcast, and Dreamcast was just such a crazy like resurgence of the genre, and everyone was just everyone. It was from casual to like hardcore playing Dreamcast and Soul Calibur.
There's a big audience. The idea is that if you're playing like super casually and you're just hitting buttons with your friends, the whole point is that you try to get a base understanding of what the game does. Treat it like it's a video game. Don't treat it like it's like a beat 'em up button masher.
Yeah.
Treat it like it's a video game. The game, you have to approach it where it's like, okay, so the developers have given me these tools to use in what situation? How would this be good? Let me try doing that against my friend in the next round and see what happens.
I don't mind.
Does it work? Does it not work?
I don't mind somebody button mashing. I just don't. I get upset when they don't learn what they're doing.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like,
you need to understand, like, why are you
something
losing?
Working? Yes.
Why
is
are
this
you
working?
trying to hit buttons when I'm attacking you and you're blocking? Like,
Yeah.
you need to understand that there's a fundamental thing that happens. You need to block attacks high and low.
Yeah.
If you get thrown, you need to either like move to avoid the throw, and you wonder like, how do I stop people from throwing me? Well, it's like you have options. These are your options, and if they refuse to accept that at all as like a thing that can be done, there's a good chance they're not going to learn.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that that's just not
That
gonna...
they're just doing what they're doing. They just
That's a true casual. People that just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that's like super high level that you like that is hard to learn, takes a lot of time. But if you're unwilling to just accept the game's like core mechanics and to use things in certain times, then that is a casual.
Your ass
Well, Vlad, you see, that's the thing, Vlad, is that if your friends don't understand how to play a fighting game, and that's why you don't play them because they're just mashing, I would say try to teach them. I mean, show them. It's like, hey, like if you beat them really bad or something like that, they're like, oh, you got me, and you're like, hey, you want to, learn how I actually did that. Then you just show them the ropes and explain them how that's fun.
I'm just saying, it's hard to like, very hard to like learn a fighting game without playing.
Sure. I mean, but there are some games out there that have great tutorials.
Sure, they do, but I go back to like my brother who he thought he was the greatest Soul Calibur player in the world.
Oh, there's always people
finally,
like that.
We finally set him up with, against one of our friends. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
All he knew how to do was fucking beat the AI.
Well, that was me back in the day. Like I remember when I was playing fighting games all the time. I was playing Blitz and shit like that. I was amazing at those games, and I thought I was a shit. I had my neighbor who was into fucking Madden games. So I was like, okay, he bet me like $20. Yeah, I'll beat you in that Madden game. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. You're like, you go out and you smoke weed and you do dumb shit and everything like that. Like, I'll beat your ass in that Madden game. I never played Madden. Played the game for like 5 minutes. This guy fucking mollywopped my ass because he understood the fundamentals of the game and which characters to pick, and which which player was like the best player of that season and shit like that. So, like to me, to him, I was that casual player. And in order to actually get good, I'd have to learn the fundamentals of the game, which I didn't know anything about. And the same thing goes with fighting games. You just have to.
And that's the thing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a casual player. They're largely responsible for you even having the fucking fighting games to play.
Yeah.
Because they buy the copies of the game. Like it's an absolute necessity. And instead of like saying that someone is a casual and they don't want to learn, that's fucking fine. I'm not gonna. The hardest thing to do is to try to teach somebody that doesn't want to learn.
That doesn't want to learn.
Don't
That's
do
the
it.
bottom. Yeah,
Just don't. Unless it's like absolutely required of their lifestyle to keep them alive or some shit.
I want to do
Why would you? Why you don't want to teach somebody that doesn't want to learn something?
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't want to learn a fighting game, then fuck it. Like then just have fun with it. I don't care.
Forward fireball.
So that shit is
Yeah.
important.
No, I get it.
That's super important for fighting
I don't know.
games.
You did the.
Well, his does
I
the
think,
dog.
I think it's very frustrating to
what you
see
did was like
people
the 3 and the 3.
play a fighting
That,
game
yeah.
and get frustrated when they don't want to learn.
You don't need to
You
go.
know what I
into,
mean?
like,
And when they lose, they get frustrated, and you're like, you're not trying to get any better. You're just doing the same thing over and over again.
And then it's one thing where then you get better at a game, and then you start understanding how it works, and do you like the way the mechanics work? And to me, that was frustrating. Was like, you know what? I just don't find this to be as fun as I used to.
Right.
Which is like literally Dragon Ball FighterZ situation.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Literally Marvel vs. Capcom 3 situation where it's like, I just don't find this as much fun as I used to.
So the fact I'm not learning, or I just don't get the game.
And I could learn and get better, but why
would I want to?
What is the reward for that? That I'd be better at this thing online that's ultimately going to frustrate me again? No, I'll play the games that are better online.
It's like, hey, I know the fundamentals of this game. I understand the tools. I don't like what they're presenting.
Yeah, I don't like how it works out.
I don't like how. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like the meta.
Yeah,
bugs me.
This is what they want you to do. And hell, I had the same fucking issues with MK11 when it first came out. They specifically want you to walk up a little bit and then crouch when somebody's zoning you. Walk up, crouch.
Yeah.
Walk up. I think it was Injustice actually.
That's all of them.
You know
That's all. Yeah, they want you to walk up, crouch.
I think
This
it's
is what they
kind
want you
of,
to do. I don't like it.
I
I think it's kind of a bullshit thing though. It's like people like, oh, like, they shit on people like because they don't want to learn a game. Like, you don't want to learn everything.
Sure,
Like,
yeah, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, if you play, you know, I mean, like,
You don't
here's the
want-
thing. You know what a bad fighting game is? Like that shit on the Jaguar. Those are bad fighting games. Like I wouldn't call Tekken bad. I don't call Mortal Kombat bad games.
It's hard.
I don't like the way they play, so I don't learn them.
It's hard to actually like think of fighting games that have come out lately that are actually like bad.
Yeah, how many fighting games?
Like that
lately
girl
are,
pillow
like, straight
fighting
up-
game. Remember that one?
Sure, yeah, girl
Like, there's,
fighter,
like,
pillow fighter, whatever the fuck.
Some
it was.
weird shit. Like, but most of them that come out are like.
Yeah, like
they're
even Power
pretty
Rangers, which
competent.
was like a budget game, is
Power Rangers is a
fucking
budget game. It's fucking really good.
Really
It's
fucking
fun
good.
as shit.
Okay, I'm gonna get into some real shit.
Oh shit.
All right. Now, I was coming across some comments and shit like that, and I randomly saw some random douche that was like, "This is why I don't like Match Humiliate. He appeals to the casual gamers, and the casual gamers don't want to get good. They're just, they go out and they just play this stuff and they just do regular stuff, but they don't actually want to get good and, and learn the game at a fundamental level." And it's like, not everybody is going to be amazing at the game.
Everyone's football fan's not going to be a fucking NFL
Player, you know what I mean? Like, the problem is
And
that
you know-
these people understand that when it comes to fighting games, there's always going to be somebody better.
So that's a common criticism, and I'll add to it. The people that person would be referring to
Yeah.
fill the seats at Evo.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Right?
They
Right?
watch all the
they
tournaments
watch
from
all the
home.
tournaments. They're always,
Does that make them any less contributing than even a person in top 8? I'd argue no. I'd argue it's more important.
And that person that I read in the comments, his mentality is like, they're not true fans. Because to them, the people that aren't busting their ass to learn the game at a fundamental level aren't true fans of that game. And those are gatekeepers. And those are people I can't...
That's elitism.
Exactly.
Elitism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To think, I am better at this than you, so I like it more than you do.
Exactly.
You don't
And they gatekeep
your
the
opinion
shit.
doesn't matter.
Right,
And that's why, like, when fighting games are made, it shouldn't just be tournament people making the game.
Right.
It shouldn't just be casual people making the game. Then you get some funky shit where everything acts stupid and
It's a little
nothing
broken.
makes any sense and it's broken and what you get is people that you get game designers. get people that understand both levels, that we need to put some fun, crazy shit in our game. We also need to make it somewhat, you know, effective against each other, where there's answers to this, there's clear things that beat against it, and then you get some really fun stuff. Like that's the fighting games I like the most, the ones that don't. I don't like fighting games that focus on being esports for crap's sake. Like, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like let's just make the game fun and crazy and interesting to watch and everything like that, and interesting to play, and then the esports shit will come naturally.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
So I think developers shouldn't focus like
punish.
we have to make our game so fucking balanced.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
So it could be like
so balanced. We have to do it balanced. Like,
so the esports crowd could really like start to.
how about just make every character super fun to play? How about make them have all these really fun and effective tools? And if other characters have similar fun and effective tools that just work in different effective ways, then fucking let's go.
I think the problem with that though is that when you have a game that is, you know, or everything's busted and everything like that, you end up seeing top 8 with the same character.
Sure.
And
I have news for you. That happens anyway.
Right.
Even in the balanced games.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter V are arguably two games that came out where characters are relatively nerfed as holy fuck compared to their previous games. And in order to appease more of a competitive even match between everybody, so that everyone can have these characters and you can see a variety of characters.
Right, yeah.
We're going to limit what the characters can do in like SF4 and MK11, SF5 and MK11. So that we can have more control over how the game is going to work out as an esport.
Right.
What happened? It's the same, like, Street Fighter V was unbalanced as holy as fuck.
Same characters.
MK11 now is got obviously top 4 characters.
I feel Street Fighter V wasn't meant to be balanced. I think it was meant to play favorites. There are just some characters that have better tools than other characters, hands down. And that is a design choice by Street Fighter. I mean, by Capcom.
It's not an argument. It's not
getting fucked.
It's not an argument of like
You'll be
tiers,
you'll be where
because
I'm at,
tiers
right?
absolutely exist in fighting games.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's your choice if you want to deal with tiers. The argument is that I think it's a less interesting and engaging fighting game if you limit your characters, because we have to be careful.
Yeah.
This will be too good.
Yeah, and you don't want that one thing to be too good.
I hate it when you see a character that obviously looks like they should have had something, but it was taken away because it would be too good. I would much appreciate fighting games to be designed with the aspect of this is going to be really good.
So
This is going to be really good.
So let's have another character that
good.
can actually answer to that, has an answer to that or something like that.
And I can also say that when I was watching Killer Instinct sort of being developed by Double Helix early on, they specifically were throwing shit in. Yeah, you want to do this Ice Lance thing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go into this Rekka stuff because he can make it safe. Yeah, you want to do this thing with Jago because his fucking EX wind kick is going to go full screen. Like, every character had stupid good shit.
Right.
And I appreciated that. Did it end up causing imbalance? Of course it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely it's going to.
Oh!
But it's
I thought top 8 for Killer Instinct wasn't that bad. It wasn't like the same characters over and over again.
In the first season it was.
Oh, okay.
It's going to happen regardless. You're going to get an unbalanced fighting game regardless. So
Why not make it fun?
why not make it fun?
Yeah.
Why not make it super fun? Why not just put in cool, fun, and engaging things that a casual audience and a hardcore audience are going to just eat up? And I guarantee you the things that the casual audience are going to eat up is going to be stages and characters. That's what they eat up.
Yeah.
They love stages and characters. Ed GTV, thank you.
Because when you're not great at a game, you don't know it on like a deep level. You know what variety is? Playing different characters, saying different things.
Yes. Someone is like, but Tekken 7 is really balanced. It is. However, the console version of Tekken 7 that you're playing was fucking 3 years old. Like, that game came out a long time ago. It went through multiple arcade iterations, like complete different title updates.
Yeah, we don't want to have the Bob fucking.
Like, I don't know, no one, very few people experienced or saw Vanilla Akuma in Tekken 7 to understand how many versions of that game actually went through insane updates just to get to the console release. Yeah, Tekken 7 is a good example of a balanced fighting game. It took a couple of years. It took like 2.5 years to get it that way.
I swear, the general public are beta testers. If you really think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the general public are just fucking
If you're playing a vanilla version of a fighting game, I guarantee you're going to come up with some...
Yeah.
What did I say about MK11? Before it came out, I was like, so they're taking it very safe with all these characters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because there's going to be some busted shit
stuff
someone's
they're
going to
find anyway. Yeah.
And... It's, yes, there's some...
And Garrus is there.
Some fucking super
and
busted
Garrus is
characters.
born. you, as a casual and all you want to do is play, I mean, that's good. It just depends on your tolerance for losing in a fighting game. If you're playing a fighting game and you're losing and you're still having fun, you're playing a great fighting game. If you're playing a fighting game and you're winning and you're not having fun, maybe you should go somewhere else.
Don't mention Soul Calibur 6. I love Soul Calibur 6. The characters in Soul Calibur 6 can get away with so much bullshit, it's insane. Not everyone. There's a few that kind of suffer, like Mitsurugi and shit like that. But my god, dude. So many characters in Soul Calibur 6 just get access to so much crazy bullshit. I love it. It's so much fun.
Reversal Edge, definitely, I kind of did the game different. Oh, get fucked.
I tried to do that.
Yeah, Reversal Edge and Soul Calibur.
Damn, Back to the Future. Motherfucker sent me 88 miles an hour.
Where's Doc?
I was doing the wrong way. No wonder I was fucking up my super.
Again, another
Oh, yeah, you did that.
Another one.
You're allowed to.
I was doing it the wrong way.
Yes, Doc mode. There you go.